The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of the staff and management of KLAY or those who advertise their products or services on this station.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Viva Ent. Good afternoon. This is Johnny the Capo, and I'm here with my good buddy and co-host, Mr.
Brad Buckles. Good afternoon.
And the best producer in all of the city.
Hey, it's Eric C.C. Ryder.
And, man, we got a great show for you today. There's no question about that, right?
We do, yeah.
Yeah, we got Paul Petersen on, one of the original teen idols from the rock and roll era.
Actor, singer,
and
all-around good guy,
yeah.
And raconteur.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's funny, when Elvis came out in 56, you had all the teen idols, which Paul Petersen was part of that group. And it's funny how you had all those great teen idols that were really in charge or on top of the pop music scene of the day. And then in 1964, when pop music changed with the British invasion, how the teen idol just disappeared almost overnight. And it's kind of a fact. It was Ricky Nelson, Bobby Darin, Paul Anka.
My favorite, Annette Funicello.
Yeah, but she I think she did have a couple hit records too, and had a couple hit songs too. I loved Annette.
It's just interesting how it came in, it went out for years, and then of course we have artists right now all over the charts and movies that came back from the Mickey Mouse Club.
Mickey Mouse, yes, I remember watching it when I was a kid, and I had a crush on Annette.
Well,
no question about it.
And of course, Paul Petersen was one of those early Mouseketeers as well on the Mickey Mouse Club. So that really, started back then as being a kind of a farm team for big-time success,
I wonder if they had any idea.
That was a real stepping stone.
Yeah, I wonder if they had any idea that was going to be the B part of the success.
Well, when it came back later, was that like in the 80s or the 90s when it resurrected back?
I
think they're 90s, right?
90s.
Well, late 80s, I think they were in, and then the 90s started being hit by, Christina Aguilera, and
right.
Of course we know Justin Timberlake and
Britney Spears.
And they were all Mouseketeers too.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah. In fact, I didn't even know Kerry Russell was. Ryan Gosling.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So, Viva Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, so,
yeah,
exactly.
I like to make the superstars.
That's going to come back to haunt you, I think. We might have to sample that.
Did you ever see the original Mickey Mouse cartoon that first hit the movie theaters back in the day?
I actually have seen that.
Are we talking about Steamboat Willie?
Yeah, I was going to say Boxcar Willie, but I think
I've seen clips of that.
Yeah.
That was pretty trippy, man.
It's interesting how the vision of Disney has permeated media. I mean, in every direction.
Right.
Another thing that was pretty trippy was, the fact that from this one cartoon that they built this whole empire, featured around Mickey Mouse. I mean, it's phenomenal.
True, yeah. It starts off with just a little drawing and then turns into this massive empire that owns Star Wars and has what do you call them? Theme parks.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks for jumping in there, guys. Theme parks around the world.
Pretty
cool.
When I was living in Vegas, I hit Disneyland at least 3 times a year. I just loved it there. It was really, really, really cool, especially when the kids were young and all that type of stuff. I took them there a million times for sure. So, talking about the teen idol thing, what a phenomenon that was from 1956 right up to about 63. And then of course, everything changed in February of 1964.
Just like that.
Yeah, the Beatles era.
Well, yeah, we definitely have a great show ahead.
Yeah.
Paul Petersen on the show today as we talked. Way different vibe than Helter Skelter. In fact, to get people in the mood, we're going to play a little bit of My Dad. And I think this one might have been recorded back when he was still on the Donna Reed Show.
Wow.
We'll find out more details, of course, as we get into that interview. So everybody stay tuned. Viva Ent returns after these words.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Much in the eyes of the world, he'll never make history. No, he isn't much in the eyes of the world, but he is the world to me. My dad. Now here is a man. To me, he is everything strong. No, he can't do wrong. My dad.
Attention business owners. Experience a new world of business with barter. The Saturn Barter Company, located in Tacoma, is one of the most beneficial business decisions you can make. Using Saturn Barter, you are able to sell your products or services to other members of the exchange. You can then use that credit you've built up from your sales to purchase the products or services you or your company needs from other companies within Saturn Barter, all without the use of cash. Contact and join Saturn Barter Club today, 253-212-9930, or online at SaturnBarter.com.
Dr. Amanda Wong and the team at Art of the Smiles provides comprehensive dental services at affordable prices. Their convenient location in Federal Way and their extended hours fits the needs of both families and working professionals. Whether it's transforming your smile through some of their cosmetic therapies or simply having your teeth cleaned, Art of the Smiles provides individualized care plans that address your priorities and needs. Visit artofthesmiles.com or call 253-839-4048. That's 253-839-4048 for same-day scheduling. Most insurance is accepted, from cosmetic procedures to implant placement, molar root canals treatment, or wisdom teeth extractions.
Life's a celebration. Grand Event Rentals makes your event their top priority. They are your full-service, special event, and party rental provider, supplying everything you need from start to finish. Their professional sales team and event staff work with you to create your dream event. With every event, Grand Event Rentals customers' needs are the most important. Whether you're planning an intimate outdoor wedding or an elaborate black tie gala, the Grand Event Rental specialists make great pride in providing our event planning experience to help create an unforgettable event. Please go and visit the Bellevue showroom, Grand Event Rentals, or make a one-on-one appointment. Talk to them. They're trained, they're knowledgeable, they're event specialists, and they are going to take you through step-by-step everything that you need to make your day a success. Call Grand Event Rentals. Their number's 425-462-7368, or go to grandeventrentalslaw.com.
This is Johnny the Gangster with Viva Productions, King of Entertainment, one-stop shop for all your entertainment needs. We have DJ service for weddings, corporate, and private events. Thrill your guests with Vegas Nights Casino Party, blackjack, craps, roulette, poker, and more. We also have event photography and limousine service. Call Viva Productions, 206-542-5733, or find us at viva-productions.com. A little less conversation, a little more action, you got it. Call Johnny the Gangster. I'll make you a deal you can't refuse.
Brides, do you want your big day to be stress-free, perfect, and stay within your budget? Well, Brides Club has all the inside information to make your dream a reality. Go to bridesclub.com. That's bridesclub.com. See upcoming bridal shows and events, view wedding vendors and special offers. And don't miss The Spotlight, the premier online wedding magazine with valuable articles you can't afford to miss. Brides Club helps make your wedding stress-free and perfect. Go to bridesclub.com. Check out bridesclub.com.
Is your vehicle needing some attention? Take it over to Maddie's Tuning and Shoreline for fast, affordable car care. Trusted, professional. Maddie's services all makes and models and has been trusted in the Puget Sound for almost 60 years. Call Brian Maddie at 206-364-3347 or stop by his convenient location in Shoreline right on Aurora at 152nd. Maddie's Tuning. Call 206-364-3347. Trusted for almost 60 years to keep you safe and on the road.
Clay Radio, your conversation station. KLAY Lakewood, Tacoma on 1180 AM.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Viva Ent. This is Johnny the Capo, and I'm here in the studio with my co-host, Mr.
Brad Buckles. Good afternoon.
And my excellent producer, Mr.
Hey, and I'm Eric Ryder.
Eric C.C. Ryder, that's right.
That's right. Thank you.
We have today.
We're off for a week, so I forgot my name.
Can't forget the CC.
Getting
That's
older.
like
C.C. Ryder.
There you go.
Anyway, today we got a great show, and Jerry Osborne's on air with us today, and Mr. Paul Petersen from TV and movie fame. Jerry, why don't you bring Paul on the air?
Well, I'd love to. We had him on back in October, and the response was so good from the listeners that we wanted to get him back again. And
That's
so
correct.
I called him just yesterday and said, how soon can you do the show? And he said he could do it today. So we're thrilled about how quickly you were able to do that, Paul, and welcome back.
Well, thank you, Jerry. Pleasure to be here. Believe me, it is.
Well, good to talk to you. We'll call you again one day.
Thanks so much.
Jerry, you were right. He interviews really well.
You know, this is like going to dinner when you're in a hurry and you look up at the waitress and you say, now listen, I'm in a real hurry. And she says, can I get you the check?
Well, I'm so glad to have you back because there were things that I wanted to ask you about last time, but time just flew by so fast that pretty soon the show was over. So if you don't mind, let me just get right to one of the things that we didn't get a chance to talk about. And
Sure.
Chronologically, this would be early 1964 for you, so you were already established as a recording artist and a big-time TV star, et cetera, et cetera. But I'd like to know how your connection with Brian Wilson and or the Beach Boys and eventually She Rides With Me all came about. This seems like something that would be an interesting story to hear.
Yeah.
Well, in fact, it is. You know, the Beach Boys, going back a couple of years, you know, they were a garage band for those of us who lived in Southern California.
Yes.
They already had a local reputation and then, of course, tremendous success, which I welcomed. And I knew all the guys, all of them. And, of course, I was, at that point, 64, people knew me because of my love for cars and the fast cars that I own. And one day, I'm in Las Vegas, of all places, for New Year's, a celebration, and all of a sudden the phone rang, and it was Lou Adler. And Lou was married to Shelley Fabre, or about to. I can't remember exactly what. Anyway, Lou said, I want you to come home right away to record. And I said, hey, I'm here, having a good time. It's New Year's. He said, Paul, Brian Wilson wrote a song for you.
Wow.
So I was on the next plane to L.A.
I'll bet.
Went right to the studio where Brian played this song for me called She Rides With Me, which I loved, especially when he threw in the Leslie speakers and the organ stuff. It was a fun afternoon.
Well, the song was written in part by Brian, and he produced the session. But one of my DJ friends who was instrumental in getting me interested in becoming a disc jockey myself, Roger Christian, was the co-writer too. So this was just filled with things that had a connection for me, obviously, as well as for you, and that's why I wanted to talk about that. Did you meet Roger and know him very well?
I really don't remember. I remember how impressed I was with Brian because, he was not only producing, He was playing, he was making sure the sound was right. And above all else, I have to tell you, Jerry, above all else was the fact that it was a hell of a good song.
Oh, yes. It was absolutely commercial for the time.
Exactly so, exactly so. And I think the thing that stood in the way is of it being a major success was my reputation. Nobody expected that out of me.
Well, it's a far cry from my dad.
Or She Can't Find Her Keys. You know,
well, that too.
You know, that's what Brian Hyland and I used to laugh about that all the time. Here he does itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini, and they blame me. And I go, wait a minute.
Well, she pulled out Presley records, autographs of Fabian, and all kinds of goofy stuff.
All that stuff, you know, Presley records, exactly.
Yeah, tell us about when Shelley did A Girl Happy with Elvis. I think you, did you get a chance to go on that set with her?
I did, in fact, at her insistence, because cool. I couldn't really fathom, having met Elvis already. You know, we had Jay Sebring used to cut our hair, so we'd bump into each other. And I could never really quite understand why the girls were so crazy about him. So she said, "You got to come over to the studio and watch what happens when he sings." And I'm a son of a gun. She was completely right, because this quiet, soft-spoken man, when the bump track started, all of a sudden became, oh my God, the king. Arresting. It was spectacular.
You know, that was one of his better movies too. The soundtrack was good. All the characters he had in the movie with him were excellent. It was really a great little film.
Well, I agree with you. And, of course, Shelley, to this day, is one of the most fortunate actresses in Hollywood history. She got to do 3 movies with Elvis.
Right.
Not one,
exactly.
not 2, but 3.
Right. Yep. I liked them all except for maybe Clambake.
Well, you know, you don't get to choose all the time.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, had somebody called me and said, "You want to do a movie with Elvis?" I wouldn't have even asked for a script. I would have said, "Yeah, tell me where to show up."
Exactly.
I'm surprised they didn't corner you into doing some kind of a part in one of them.
Well, they got Carl Betts to do one.
Right.
But here was the thing. My schedule was really full. In this era, when you did a television series, you did 39 episodes a year, which meant you were booked for 39 weeks. I only had like 13 free weeks, into which I tried to cram the Dick Clark Caravan of Stars for a couple, 3 weeks, tried to do a movie if Columbia Pictures, which owned Screen Gems, which owned the Donna Reed Show, if they wanted me to do, plus a little free time for myself.
All right. You were jammed.
Well, I really was. I mean, they did call from AIP, which was doing, you know, the beach blanket bingo things, but I just never had the time. And in fact, it wasn't until after the Donna Reed Show went off the air in '66, spring, that I could even consider doing, first the Disney movie Happiest Millionaire, which turned out to be Walt Disney's last film.
Okay.
And then Long Ride Home, which was the next movie I did.
Wow.
That's when I finally had free time.
And the Donna Reed Show first went on the air what year?
1958.
And how old were you then, Paul?
I was 12 and turned 13 that first within the first few weeks of the show. And I was 20, about to be 21 when we went off the air in April or May of 1966.
So you guys had a good 8-year run there. That's pretty good.
Yes, it was fabulous. 276 episodes altogether.
Wow.
Let me get you back to the Beach Boys for a moment.
Sure.
I've always been curious as to how many, if more than Brian, of the Beach Boys were on that session.
Brian was the only one I knew about. Now, of course, they did a lot of sweetening, but they had, you know, the Hollywood studio musicians, I'm trying to remember the drummer's name. Hal
Blaine.
That's it. He was there. And my usual guitarist, Glenn Campbell, was there. I can't remember the other people.
This sounds like the A-list at Gold Star Studios.
Well, in fact, it was the A-list. But look, the songs were almost always guaranteed success. We were all professionals, and when you went in there, you had 3 hours according to the union contracts. And the people, the backup singers, the musicians, man, they were professional. I talk about being great.
Yeah, they were the best. Another one of the wrecking crew that we've had on the show 3 or 4 or 5 times now is Nino Tempo. Was he on any of your sessions?
I can't remember specifically. There were only a few that have stuck in my memory. Of course, some people, both at Gold Star and United Recorders, actually have the session sheets that were turned into Local 47.
Right.
So the records are out there somewhere. And, of course, all of this, remember, was led, with the exception of She Rides With Me, by Stu Phillips, who not only recorded virtually all of my songs, but all of Shelley's and all of James Darren's and the Marcells as well.
Wow. Very cool.
Do you know what happened on March 3rd of 1962?
Oh, my goodness, no. Give me...
This should be etched in your memory, Paul.
Why so?
Because on that day, your record, She Can't Find Her Keys, and Shelley's Johnny Angel both debuted on the Billboard chart on that same day.
No kidding.
I'll be darned. Wow, and the Shelley's rocketed to number 1.
Well, yours did quite well, too, but you couldn't be at number 1 because she was there, right?
You're right about that. No, that she had tremendous success. And what's interesting is it wasn't just the name. It's because it was a wonderfully crafted song that captured the attention of young teenage girls all across the country.
Yeah, it was a great song. Very good song.
I understand that she was backed by the Blossoms on that.
No kidding.
That is correct. We were on virtually every track we did. Again, these were professional gals who could come in and if we felt a little unsure of ourselves, they would help us to rehearse with us and for Shelley, the Blossoms actually stood behind her and kind of held her up, as they did for me on a couple of occasions.
Well, who doesn't love Darlene Love?
Yeah, exactly so. But what an era that was. We've talked about the Brian Wilson, but imagine sitting there in Colpick's offices, and this young girl comes in that I'd never heard of except by reputation, and plays a song called "Keep Your Love Locked," and it's Carole King.
Man, all the heavyweights.
We did pretty spectacular, but that was nothing compared to being able to sit there and look at Barry Mann and Cynthia Weil, who brought in one of their treasures, the song that Barry had written when his dad passed away, called My Dad. It was such an impactful song that when I first heard it, Stu and we were in tears. And they had to change the tense of the song from "he wasn't much in the eyes of the world" to "he isn't much in the eyes of the world." And I'm looking at Barry and Cynthia already knowing what giant superstars in the world of songwriting they were.
Oh, yeah. They don't get
turned around and wrote Amy for you, too.
Well, that is correct. As well, I mean, look at some of the songs. You've Lost That Love and Feeling, please. On Broadway, oh, my goodness, the 70-some-odd number 1 hits.
Well, here's one they wrote for you that I must admit I've never heard, but I'd like to. Hey There, Beautiful, in 1964.
Beautiful song. Wow.
I need to find that.
Yeah, it's around. I think it's out there on those on the special albums that some CD producers put out. It's under Paul Petersen's classic hits, that kind of stuff.
Cool, very cool.
So, Paul, I've got a quick question for you. This is Brad, and I'm kind of curious what being a child actor was back then. I know there's been lots of conversation about it in the last several decades, but what was it like being one of the first child actors?
Oh, look, I had a ball, and believe me, I was not the first. Remember, there was a whole list of people before me on television, no less. Lee Aker, who was Rusty, Corporal Rusty on Rin Tin Tin, Jimmy Hawkins on Annie Oakley.
Jerry Mathers.
Oh, exactly. And Billy Gray from Father Knows Best. But then back into the movie days, you know, you're talking about Roddy McDowell and Mickey Rooney, and back even further, Jackie Coogan. So I was part of a tradition, and let me tell you, I had a lot of fun. Nobody beat me up. Nobody stole my money. I loved fast cars and faster women, so I had a ball.
Cool.
So what was that like, getting the first contact? What was the story about how they first contacted you? What were your thoughts?
He was a Musketeer.
Oh, then that was kind of a bad start in 1955. No, here's the deal. Shelley and I had auditioned for the Sherry Lewis Show in 1957. It's a pilot that never really sold. So we had our brother and sister act down. And during that same year, a little later in 1957, I did a movie called Houseboat with Cary Grant and Sophia Loren. Well, Donna was friends with Cary Grant, who said some very positive things about me. And when I came in for the interview, this is about April 1958, and Donna, who's from Denison, Iowa, heard me say fur and get, and, the flat Midwestern accent. She just kind of knew, well, this is the kid who can play my son. And that decision for both Shelley and I, it just altered our lives completely.
I'd say.
Amazing.
Yeah, and you guys both had great careers. And
so how was it working with Cary Grant and Sophia Loren?
Well, that was the best experience in the movie world that I ever had. You know, it's funny. If people ask me about what's your best television, I say it's the Donna Reed Show. What's the best episode? I say My Dad. What was the best movie? I say Houseboat. Cool. And those are real high points of my professional life. And of course, we must remember now to look. Besides, we talked about Shelley, 3 movies with Elvis. Look at the series she's been on. The Brian Keith Show, One Day at a Time, and finishing off with Coach. How remarkable!
Yeah, yep, yeah. She's had a great career, and that Coach was on for several seasons too. Correct?
Yeah, 9 years. That's correct.
No kidding, 9 years.
Yep.
I didn't realize that.
Yep.
Wow,
fantastic. She did a great job playing Christine. She was just so funny. Really one of the most accomplished actresses. Well, it's the training. You know, when you get to work with a true professional like Donna Reed and a highly trained Shakespearean actor like Carl Betts, you'll learn a few things.
I'd say.
So one thing we like to always ask is, who are some of the music groups that you're listening to nowadays? I mean, you've had a phenomenal career, but when you're sitting back and relaxing today, who are some of the actors or who are some of the musicians that you enjoy?
Well, I always have a soft spot for teen idols, whether it's Justin Timberlake or Bieber. I'm always rooting for them, mostly because I want them to go smoothly through the transition period. I mean, I don't know about you, but I love the Super Bowl commercial Bieber was in. It made me laugh.
Oh, it was hilarious. Well done.
Oh, wasn't it, though?
Yep, very well done.
Yes, it really was. And Timberlake I root for because he really came out of that whole musical phenomenon that he went through could have destroyed him.
Another Musketeer.
Well, that's right. You know, so of course I have that soft spot. But the truth of the matter is, I like big band music.
Cool.
I like Sinatra.
Yeah.
If I'm going to listen, that's what I listen to, and that's because of the way I grew up. But Johnny Crawford, you know, who was on Rifleman, we kind of chuckle because Johnny likes the music from even further back. You know, he's Tin Pan Alley guy. He does the 20s Rudy Valley music.
Wow. Well, I love Sinatra too, and I find myself listening to him quite often.
Don't forget Dean.
Oh yeah, I love Dean too.
Oh, Dean, yeah, Dean and Dina, who we've actually had on the show here, is phenomenal.
Well, my wife is the real rock and roll dolly. She, when we're in the car, it's Elvis, it's 50s music, 60s, 70s, 80s, and she knows the words to everything, and we just sing right along.
Well, Paul, we're almost out of time here. You want to tell our listeners what's going on with you, your Facebook, website?
Well, everything is cool in the Facebook. I have 4 sites that are personal, and then a minor consideration, the foundation I started to help support young professionals as they transition into adulthood. The foundation has been taken over by some wonderful former kid stars like Scotty Schwartz and Allison Arngrim, who was Nellie on Little House, and Darby Hinton, who was on Daniel Boone. They are really taking the foundation into the next decades. Because frankly, I've been doing it for about 40 years, and it's time for me to step back and let the new kids take over.
The new kids on the block.
That's right.
Jerry, do you have anything to ask Paul before he?
Well, no. Actually, I've enjoyed this. The time just flew past, and I always like chatting with you guys because you're knowledgeable and appreciate the era.
Yes, we do. Absolutely.
You definitely hit the nail on the head there. I mean, we eat, sleep, live, and breathe this stuff, and you make it all so much fun.
Boy, I'll tell you, I'm just impressed that you've just been able to go right through it and just have a great experience. And like you said, cars and fast women and good times. And just, it's nice to see somebody come out on the other end and just be full of life.
That's correct.
Well, exactly, because unfortunately, there have been a few funerals along the way.
Well, there have.
Well said, Brad. Well said.
All right, my friends, thank you so much for calling. I've enjoyed this, and now I got to get ready for the next one.
Okay, thanks, Paul.
We'll talk again, Paul. Thank you.
All right. Bye, all.
Bye-bye.
Well, Jerry, we've done it again, Jerry. Another great interview with a big star, and actually, I remember when I was young, when you walked into a store and you saw the magazine section, Paul Petersen, he was on every cover of every magazine.
He was right there with Ricky Nelson, Elvis, and Frankie Avalon. I mean, he was one of the big teen stars at the time.
Yes, he definitely was.
Boy, just looking back on some of the videos, man, he's it. That's the look.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And of course, he was the total package that they look for, which means that he was both an actor and a singer and looked good.
Yes, absolutely. All the key ingredients of being a...
And sounded like he kept his nose clean. Imagine that.
Well, that's right. There's never been a Paul Petersen scandal.
I actually respect that incredibly.
Yeah,
I just think that's fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, wow, what a great interview with Paul Petersen. What do you say, Brad?
And, the guy could not drop more A-list names of everybody we've interviewed. I can't imagine. I mean, there's Cary Grant, and then there's, Brian Wilson, and, then that one time I was with Sophia Loren.
Because he had, experience in all the various bits of showbiz, not just a singer, but also an actor, TV.
It's amazing.
Movies, so that's pretty cool.
And what did he say? He started at about 12 years old?
Mm-hmm.
Talk about being dropped in.
12 years old in a movie with Sophia Loren. Oh, my gosh.
But just to reiterate, the thing I like about him the best is that you've never heard any drama.
Yeah.
He came in, he did his job, he had a great career. He's a good guy.
He's a good guy, and he's still got his brains.
Oh, yeah. Good for him.
So I'm dying to hear this song, She Rides.
She Rides With Me, which was the song that Jerry Osborne was referring to, that Brian Wilson wrote for Paul Petersen to perform, and had a lot of the Wrecking Crew on the recording. So why don't we hear some of that as we go to break?
Sounds good. I love it.
We'll come back with more Viva Ent.
Let's get it on.
Attention business owners, experience a new world of business with barter. The Saturn Barter Company, located in Tacoma, is one of the most beneficial business decisions you can make. Using Saturn Barter, you are able to sell your products or services to other members of the exchange. You can then use that credit you've built up from your sales to purchase the products or services you or your company needs from other companies within Saturn Barter, all without the use of cash. Contact and join Saturn Barter Club today, 253-212-9930, or online at SaturnBarter.com.
Dr. Amanda Wong and the team at Art of the Smiles provides comprehensive dental services at affordable prices. Their convenient location in Federal Way and their extended hours fits the needs of both families and working professionals. Whether it's transforming your smile through some of their cosmetic therapies or simply having your teeth cleaned, Art of the Smiles provides individualized care plans that address your priorities and needs. Visit artofthesmiles.com or call 253-839-4048. That's 253-839-4048 for same-day scheduling. Most insurance is accepted, from cosmetic procedures to implant placement, molar root canals treatment, or wisdom teeth extractions.
Life's a celebration. Grand Event Rentals makes your event their top priority. They are your full-service, special event, and party rental provider, supplying everything you need from start to finish. Their professional sales team and event staff work with you to create your dream event. With every event, Grand Event Rentals customers' needs are the most important. Whether you're planning an intimate outdoor wedding or an elaborate black tie gala, the Grand Event Rental specialists make great pride in providing our event planning experience to help create an unforgettable event. Please go and visit the Bellevue Showroom, Grand Event Rentals, or make a one-on-one appointment. Talk to them. They're trained, they're knowledgeable, they're event specialists, and they are going to take you through step-by-step everything that you need to make your day a success. Call Grand Event Rentals. Their number is 425-462-7368, or go to grandeventrentalslaw.com.
Is your vehicle needing some attention? Take it over to Maddie's Tuning and Shoreline for fast, affordable car care. Trusted, professional, Maddie's services all makes and models and has been trusted in the Puget Sound for almost 60 years. Call Brian Maddie at 206-364-3347 or stop by his convenient location in Shoreline right on Aurora at 152nd. Maddie's Tuning. Call 206-364-3347. Trusted for almost 60 years to keep you safe and on the road.
This is Johnny the Gangster with Viva Productions, King of Entertainment. One-stop shop for all your entertainment needs. We have DJ service for weddings, corporate, and private events. Thrill your guests with Vegas Nights Casino Party, blackjack, craps, roulette, poker, and more. We also have event photography and limousine service. Call Viva Productions, 206-542-5733, or find us at viva-productions.com. A little less conversation, a little more action, you got it. Call Johnny the Gangster. I'll make you a deal you can't refuse.
Brides, do you want your big day to be stress-free, perfect, and stay within your budget? Well, Brides Club has all the inside information to make your dream a reality. Go to bridesclub.com. That's bridesclub.com. See upcoming bridal shows and events, view wedding vendors and special offers. And don't miss The Spotlight, the premier online wedding magazine with valuable articles you can't afford to miss. Brides Club helps make your wedding stress-free and perfect. Go to bridesclub.com. Check out bridesclub.com.
Clay Radio, your conversation station. KLAY Lakewood, Tacoma on 1180 AM.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Viva Ent. This is Johnny the Capo. I'm here with my co-host, Mr.
Brad Buckles. Good afternoon.
My excellent producer.
It's Eric C.C. Ryder.
Yes, sir. And
having a great show today.
That was a great interview, a great show, and that song was pretty cool.
She Rides With Me, Paul Petersen singing a song written by Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys. Definitely had that Beach Boys sound to it.
Definitely. No question about it.
And, you know, Paul had a couple big hits, including She Can't Find Her Keys and My Dad, which we heard some of. But, you know, surprisingly, that one didn't chart.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why it didn't do so well, because it definitely had that Beach Boys flavor that was popular in '64 when it came out. So
Yeah, well,
who knows?
Maybe if it came out in '64, that might be one reason why it didn't chart, because the British invasion just about wiped out everybody.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So that's I would say there was a lot of records in '64 by a lot of the teen idols that just were pretty much ignored.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we've spent most of the show talking about music, which we love to do, but I know that you want to talk about an expo coming up, right?
Well,
yeah, absolutely.
You know, the wedding expo's right around the corner. There always seems to be a couple that are just right coming up. In about 6 weeks, we'll be over at the Tacoma Dome, the Tacoma Wedding Expo. March 25th and 26th is about our 11th year in the spring.
Wow.
It's a fantastic show because like 70% of the brides that come to the show have no idea what they're doing. It's always fun to see their, the big eyes when they walk in, and they're all excited and they want to go find their dress. It's all about them. They want the information now.
And what a great venue the Tacoma Dome is. For that.
I have been really fortunate. I am one of the only producers in the country that can say that they started the show, and 25 years later, I'm still at the same show.
Yeah.
Tacoma Dome has treated us like family. It's like going home. It's a fantastic venue. It's a great show. It's a fantastic group of vendors. I mean, we're almost like family now.
Oh yeah, no question about that. Yeah, and it's it's the place to, where else are you going to be able to, as a vendor, where else are you going to be able to meet brides in March?
Meet brides in March, sell them dresses, talk to them about catering, of course, DJ and entertainment.
Absolutely.
Cakes, limousines, everything. You come down to the Tacoma Wedding Expo in March. All the information is at bridesclub.com, and we even have discount tickets. We have a new promotion right now, 3 for $33.
Cool.
So if you come down to the show, you're going to get a special deal if you can get online and get those tickets now.
Well, I like the 3 for $33. That's pretty cool. Now, I got a new project that Viva Productions is now producing every month, the third Saturday of every month starting in May. But our actual first event is going to be April 1st, April's Fool's Day. And it's Viva Productions presents Viva Diva Flea Market. And
Viva Diva?
Viva Diva. It's my wife's project, which I'm helping her out on, of course.
I like that.
Yeah, Viva Diva Flea Market in Edmonds, ladies and gentlemen, right down by the water, downtown Edmonds. It's 515 Dayton Street in Edmonds at the Old Opera House, Old Edmonds Opera House and Masonic Hall.
So give us a little bit of insight. What's in at the Viva Diva?
Well, if you want to be part of it, the booths are $50 and $60. It's going to be open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can actually move in on Friday evening to get your booth ready to go.
But what are we going to find? Like, what is a Viva Diva flea market? You kind of got me in all the cute words here. What's a Viva Diva flea market?
Well, it's going to be a lot of everything. It's not only antique and vintage stuff, jewelry, antique and vintage goods, and just like a regular flea market. But the good part is going to be inside, so we don't have to worry about the weather.
Yeah, but if I know your wife, this is not a flea market. She's got good stuff.
Yeah.
This is not just like things trying to get out of the garage. I think Maureen's got a few things up her sleeve.
Yeah, she does, actually. She has quite a few things up her sleeve. And it's going to be interesting, that's for sure. And the first one is April 1st, which I will be there. We're going to have a raffle drawing. There'll be music. There'll be food.
Johnny and the Bad Boys showing up?
Not Johnny and the Bad Boys, but I'll have one of my DJs there for sure.
Oh, good. So a little bit of music.
Mm-hmm.
So now this facility, this venue is also new online too.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it's 3,600 square feet. It can do events, weddings, corporate parties, private parties. We can get about 180 people in there seated. And 250 standing. It's got a stage, and then of course for booking information, call me, Johnny, at 206-542-5733, and it's soon to be up on our website, viva-productions.com as well. And so, yeah, I'm really excited in promoting this new venue. And like I said, we're going to have weddings there, private parties, corporate parties, and we may even have a couple of school dances there too, depending on the situation. But
I'm in.
All right, I'm glad that you're in. Grand Event Rentals is helping us out with that project too.
Oh, good. He's got all his gear down there, huh?
Yeah, we've already got pipe and drape ready to go, if you so desire. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And
what's the latest with the band? Where are we playing next?
Well, it looks like I might be playing at the Eagles in excuse me, the Lions. Forgive me, Lions. No, Eagles. It's the Eagles Club in Lake City. And I'll get that address. And it looks like I'm going to hit the stage probably in March for a couple of Saturdays, and a couple of Saturdays in April. So
I know this has been something you've been working on your whole life. Just can't keep you off the stage.
Yeah, I like that stage. It's a fun place to be.
I think you were meant to be in the front. That's what I think.
Thank you so much, sir. The thing is, I hope I'm in better voice in March than I am today.
Well, everyone's got that cold. You got
Yeah.
a few weeks to get beyond it.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. No question about it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to hitting the Eagles in March and April, and then April 1st we have Viva Diva Flea Market, 10 a.m. Edmonds. No question about it.
I'm liking that. Viva Diva Flea.
Viva Diva Flea. Now, did you guys get a chance to check out the Grammys at all? I mean,
yeah.
I was not impressed with Beyonce. I'm sorry. I don't really want to see that.
Well,
what about you guys?
I have a unique experience because, as you know, I helped produce the Beyonce Jay-Z show here a couple of years ago.
That's correct.
And Beyonce is all that.
She is.
But sometimes she's all that and a little bit more. And although I love her voice,
Well, she's a little bit more now because she's pregnant with twins.
well, yeah,
She
okay,
can't
she's
help
all
it.
that. She's all that plus one.
She's all that plus two.
Oh, she got twins coming?
Yes.
I had not heard that. But I love her voice. I just have a hard time with her.
I do too. I don't know why. The voice is great. She's got the talent. But I feel exactly the same way. I
Now,
don't know
when she
why.
was with Destiny's Child, I thought the world of her. I mean, I just thought that was phenomenal. But when she came out and hit her career, and of course done very well, I'm just not a fan.
I think you guys are in the minority there because
Probably so.
because everybody else seems to really like Beyonce, and a lot of people thought that Lemonade, her album that came out last year, should have been the album of the year, but Adele ended up winning it, and she even thought that Lemonade was a better album than her album. And so I guess she broke her Grammy to give part of it, to share it with Beyonce, which, is kind of funny, but I think it's a nice gesture if you think that somebody else did a better record than you. But, it's so subjective. I mean,
Yeah.
awards anyway.
I mean, how
And
many
who
times
knows?
have artists criticized who won and who didn't, right? I mean, we could go
Yeah,
back in history.
true.
I liked Adele's album.
I was
thought it
just glad
good.
it wasn't Kanye. It wasn't Kanye there breaking Adele's Grammy. It was her breaking it herself. That's fine. You can do that.
And the truth of the matter is, we're lucky. I mean, we've got a lot of artists right now that are in the industry that are doing really well. I mean, we've got a lot of music.
Yeah, it seems like the music industry is back on its feet, so to speak, after years and years of decline. Seems to be actually a profitable business once again, and not just a few superstars, but it seems like music is actually selling. The streaming stuff is actually starting to make money again. So maybe we're going to have a healthy industry going forward again, and let's hope for that, I guess, if we think that that's going to equate to more good music, which hopefully it will.
And of course, who knew that Metallica would ever play with Lady Gaga?
That was
Right? Yeah, there's a surprise.
Yeah. I mean, and well done.
And as a matter of fact, I thought that was really, really, really a great performance by Metallica and Lady Gaga. She was on fire that night.
And, of course, followed up with her performance at the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
she looks cool as a metal chick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in fact, quite honestly, I like her better as a metal chick.
I didn't see the performance. I heard that James Hetfield, the singer of Metallica, had problems with his microphone, so there was some technical issues with that. But I just saw the pictures, and I thought, she fits right in with them. She looks cool.
I'll tell you what, for whatever technical difficulties they had, you would not have known it in the performance. You talk about somebody that didn't miss a beat. This guy's classic.
Yeah, it was a great performance, and I really do like Lady Gaga's new look compared to the look that she had going 8 or 9 years ago.
You didn't like the meat dress?
No.
I'm kind of a girl next door thing. There's something about a little classic look, and I got to tell you, Lady Gaga nailed it. I was really impressed with her this year.
Yes. I agree 1,000%. I like her new look. She's more dolled up. She looks prettier. She looks classier.
The production is smooth. It's like, it just congratulations. I think she nailed it.
Yeah, I do too. I think great performance by Lady Gaga. Double a thumbs up for Lady Gaga and Metallica.
Well, we are running out of time, but, Valentine's Day was this week. And as we close the show, I thought maybe a good idea to play a little bit more of Paul Petersen doing something of a love song here.
I don't know that I disagree. I think we got a few women that might be listening, and I certainly have a sweetheart myself, so maybe we'll close out with those thoughts.
Well, why don't we play a little bit of Lollipops and Roses as we close out today's Viva ENT?
Very cool. That's Paul Petersen tune, right?
That is.
Very good. Wait, great show today. I want to thank all our sponsors. We're on the air 4 years now, and want to thank Jerry Osborne, Paul Petersen, Brad Buckles, Eric C.C. Ryder. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in, and here is our Valentine's gift to you, even though a couple of days late.
Tell her you care each time you speak. Make it her birthday each day of the week. Bring her nice things, sugar and spice things, roses and lollipops, and lollipops and roses. One day she'll smile, next day she'll cry. Minute to minute, you'll never.
Is your vehicle needing some attention? Take it over to Maddie's Tuning and Shoreline for fast, affordable car care. Trusted, professional. Maddie's services all makes and models and has been trusted in the Puget Sound for almost 60 years. Call Brian Maddie at 206-364-3347 or stop by his convenient location in Shoreline right on Aurora at 152nd. Maddie's Tuning. Call 206-364-3347. Trusted for almost 60 years to keep you safe and on the road.
Clay Radio, your conversation station. KLAY Lakewood, Tacoma on 1180 AM.